This is Brad Matheny. Today is Thursday, May 15th. Yep, we made it through the middle of another month. Seems like March, April, May have just flown by for me with all the craziness going on in my world. But, we survived. That's how it works. And if you've been following me long enough, you know that we're moving through this entire crazy February, March breakdown into the rally. Back up over here, we have this flagging formation up here. Change these to blue. This little island topping consolidation range that I believe is really going to play out fairly strongly. Well, let's make that make it a light blue. Got the sniffles this morning. Sorry, guys. Okay, kind of hard to see. I don't know. I'll make them a dark purple. It's got a purple of some color back there. Okay, good enough. And we're looking at kind of that rolling over type of a shape. Now, yesterday I shared with you this image that I had drawn back in, looks like end of March. So, all the way through April. And it's March 23rd. So all the way through April, coming down into the April low, setting up what I thought would be a May low over here, and then rolling into this channel into the July low, and then maybe double bottoming back over here in the October low. Now, we've already gotten below or near the 480 level. So even though my analysis up here at 520, 530, before the tariffs happen, we're looking at something somewhat similar back over here. And when you take a look at this chart, you can kind of see that broader scoping pattern with coming down into the April low, coming back up potentially into the May low, coming back over here, and then rolling down into lower cycles into the July low. So kind of interesting how it played out. We got the extra tariff news here, and we've rolled back up to almost 600 here, 585, almost 587. So it's kind of interesting how this whole thing played out, into the roll, into the breakdown of the April low, with the extra tariffs moving down into this 480 low, and then rallying back up into this 580 high. Now we'll see if we get the breakdown. Am I 100% accurate? I wish I was. But again, this looks very interesting to me to see if we get this kind of a rolling downward trend. Now, today is a crush pattern. Let me come over here. Show you today is a crush pattern. We are in bullish trending. We are in trending mode. Crush patterns, typically, from my experience, are pretty big down days. Can be pretty big down days. That's how I label them. From my memory of when I created all these patterns, crush patterns are usually, pretty big breakdown days. So come back over here. We'll get rid of the big blue line I just drew. And, a crush pattern today would probably be something along the lines of this, closing that gap down. So potentially something like this. Pretty big breakdown. Now, one of my subscribers and followers mentioned to me that crush can be to the upside. Yes, it can be to the upside. A crush pattern is really dependent on current market trend. So, we've had major crush patterns before be to the upside, but they've basically been news driven. So we're going to watch to see if there's any news today. I would be, again, warning of that caveat, so to say, that we've got this window. Let's call it 575. So I'll put that out here. Shrink this down a little bit. So 575 and 598, almost 599. So there's your kind of window. And it sucks that it's a 25-point range. Make sure I got this one right. 575, 576. But there's your range. That's your island range up here. And anything within that range, 599 to 576, is likely just consolidation up here. If we break out above 599, then yeah, I would say we have a pretty good upside move. If we get down below 576, then yeah, we're breaking down, likely probably going to close this gap window. I would not be super aggressive in here. This is consolidation, this little island topping formation. Again, playing out very cleanly with my expectations. Back over here, we're kind of up into this area right now. Show you real quick. Maybe real quick. There we go. And we're kind of up in this area right now. So if we do get that breakdown move, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. So we'll see if it plays out. Okay, QQQ is same thing. Looking at a crush pattern today. You can see the rotation I've drawn. I'll get rid of my breakdown mode. Get rid of my invalidation line. Here we have the same type of ranging roughly in this area. So we're talking 502 to roughly 518. Make sure I got that right. Yep, 518, 519 maybe. Yeah, 519. So there you go. There's your range. We're really, if we break out above 519, 520, then likely we're going to get a rally. If not, I think that the crush pattern really is going to look more like this, coming down, maybe even attempting to move down and fill that gap. So this could be a big move today. We'll see how it plays out. It's just crush patterns can be big, can be very big. We'll see how it plays out. Again, sitting back here, trying to position myself for this move, and really got to wait to see what happens because we're opening down just a little bit. Nothing huge, nothing major. Okay, gold and silver. Overnight, very deep rotation. And I did some research yesterday about this big move. This is 10-minute. Let me see if I can go to 30-minute and try to show you what's going on. So I'll get rid of some of my lines. Get rid of this rotation. That's legging. That's the invalidation. Okay, so we'll get rid of some of these because that's way up on the top. And get rid of this. So yesterday I did some looking primarily in silver, but I can see it here. You know, we come up, so we come down into this lower excess face peak pattern. We flag out right here. We roll up. Where's the consolidation? We run into a little bit of consolidation here, and then we roll up to the ultimate high right up here. Then we move into the excess face peak pattern here, rolling, flagging, breaking down into consolidation, and then breaking down into a lower low right over here, an ultimate low, breaking down below these levels. And you could argue that, oh, well, this is another consolidation. Well, yes, you can. And what I would do in that case is I would argue that this is the extended excess phase peak pattern rolling through additional flagging here, breaking down into consolidation and breaking down into an ultimate low. So it still kind of plays out that we're rolling through this dual ultimate low over here. So now where we're at with all of that is that if we've reached this ultimate low, we are now down here into the ultimate low, coming up, looking for flagging somewhere, rolling up, possibly into consolidation, and then rolling upward. That may be, and again, flagging could be here, flagging could be somewhere up here, flagging could be somewhere up here, flagging downward. Don't know where flagging is going to be yet, but if this is the ultimate low, then we're finally moving back into a bullish phase here. Same thing over here off silver, rolling potentially into a nice bullish phase off of this ultimate low, coming up, flagging potentially, rolling up into consolidation, and then rolling higher. So this will be interesting to see how this deep low support plays out, and whether or not we get that flagging playing out over the next couple of weeks. Now, obviously, this is a fairly deep low in silver and gold. I do still expect silver and gold to move higher, but we shall see how things play out over the next couple of days. Quite surprised at this breakdown, but there's been a lot of news over the last 5, 10, 15 days. So the gold pattern today is a breakaway move in trending mode. We have gone down into bearish trending. Like I said, it looks like we're setting up that ultimate low. We move into rally mode and counter trend. Counter trend of bearish would be a upward trending, so we will see how that plays out. Then we move into a crush pattern in trend mode, depending on what the pattern, the trending is on Monday. We'll see. This could be a big up or a down bar, and we move into a momentum rally in counter trend mode as well. So we'll see how it plays out. Definitely interesting move in metals. I mean, really broad consolidation into this lower low. Looking at this as a potential flush out low, especially the silver chart shows it quite cleanly, just rolling across these lows into this flush out low. So we'll see how it plays out. And then lastly, we're coming over here to Bitcoin. Bitcoin down 1,100 points. Move over here. We're still in technically bullish trending, as I tried to show you with all these little bullish markers up here, until we break this flag. And let me draw this flag a little more cleanly so you can see it, because it's really, so we come up here, we roll over, we come across these lows as the flag. And then we come across basically, look at that. And I would say these highs. It's a pretty narrow flag, so right there. And so that gives you the idea of where the flag is in Bitcoin. And again, I'm trying to draw it here with this rectangle. Yeah, really that kind of an area there, right along the middle of the flag that I drew, that's the breakdown area. So if I were to be looking for a breakdown in Bitcoin, I would be looking for Bitcoin to get, at this point, somewhere down into this area, 96, 94,000, and that would qualify as a sufficient breakdown to me, indicating we're moving lower. Until we get to that 96 to 97,000 area, we could just be waffling higher in bullish trending. So there you go. I'm going to have a busy day today. My brother got out of the hospital yesterday. He's uncomfortable, sore, and I got to get him back for a follow-up today. So I will be on the road most of the morning. We will see how the markets play out. I'll be watching things on my phone. And, of course, good luck and go get some today. All right, guys. Talk to you later. End up back here on the SPY. and go get some, guys. Talk to you later.